Yeah, for fuck's sake. Apparently I can't make innuendos or bondage jokes without perpetuating the patriarchy now. And it's not just this particular comment or this particular subject matter. I get this shit on all kinds of videos. In fact, I had a bunch of people up in arms when I said somebody landed their point with all the finesse and grace of Kobe Bryant's helicopter. Somebody said, oh, you could have just said crashed and burned. Yeah, but what I said was funny, and that's not. And I am here for entertainment purposes. And forgive me if my joke about an obscenely wealthy rapist private helicopter crash was a little too insensitive. My pun calling Vivek Ramaswamy Volvo runs kinda shitty was culturally insensitive, but Jim Jockstrap Jordan, Marsha Crossburn, and margarine taters and cream is all perfectly acceptable. When calling Confederate sympathizers and Benedict Arnolds, which I still think is probably my best joke ever, people got offended because I'm perpetuating classist stereotypes. Here's the thing that people need to fucking understand. It is possible to make a joke on something without making a joke about something. Just because you reference something doesn't mean you're making fun of that thing. A joke that references Vivek's heritage is not inherently making fun of Hindu culture or Indian people. In fact, in many of my jokes and puns, it was quite the opposite. It was used to make light of the fact that he, a person with a rich and diverse cultural background, pandering to white Christian nationalists, is pretty fucking offensive and insensitive to all the people of his and every other diverse cultural background that white Christian nationalists work to oppress. Sure, in Benedict Arnold's plays off a classic classist stereotype, and I am 100% all about class unity. But you know what's not class solidarity? Arguing that a treasonous war fought to own other human beings was a noble cause. And I have absolutely no interest in class solidarity with anybody who is that lacking in class solidarity themselves. In that case, I don't want to be in the same group as you. And if you find that joke offensive, then good, because that's how it was intended. I want you to feel offended about your bad ideas. Making a bondage innuendo about the state of McCarthy's speakership is not anti-bondage. It was a humorous, accurate, and graphic description of a situation. Nothing about it suggested a bondage kink itself is bad. However, a bondage kink playing out on the floor of Congress while we're trying to pass basic legislation would be inappropriate, which makes the joke about the inappropriate way they handled the speakership very appropriate. It has nothing to do with propping up the fucking patriarchy. Now, I'm as woke as they come, and I am fully aware that people try to defend indefensible jokes all the time by saying they're just jokes, but that's not what I'm doing. My jokes are not just jokes. They are carefully thought out, and they have a point. And I absolutely occasionally make jokes that were genuinely offensive in a way that I didn't intend from a perspective I didn't consider. When that's pointed out to me in an honest, genuine way, I'll be the first to admit that that wasn't my intention. I hadn't considered it from that perspective, apologize, and I won't use it in that way again. But just being offended to be offended for offense sake like this shit, it undermines the strength and credibility of real people who have real reasons to be offended. Every time somebody makes the butt of a joke somebody's ethnicity or orientation or gender, and people get rightfully offended, and their genuine offense gets undermined by people saying you can't joke about anything because people are offended by everything these days, that damaging rhetoric is given credibility because of shit like this. Now, if you're incapable of understanding the nuance of humor, the difference between subject matter being a part of a joke and subject matter that's the butt of a joke, then keep your edgy offense to yourself, because all you're doing is undermining the people and issues you feign to care about with it.